Hi everyone, this is Jason from the Military ParaMilitary 2 Para 3 Club on Facebook and Instagram. I'm very excited to be with you to talk about a brand new release from Cutlery Shoppe. Jeff at Cutlery Shoppe was very generous to send me an advance copy of his new knife that's coming out tomorrow. You'll be able to get it on March 29, and that will be available at noon Mountain Time. So that's going to be 2 o'clock Eastern, that's going to be 11 o'clock Pacific Time. So tomorrow at noon, you will be able to get the brand new Para 3. Now, one of these knives is not like the other. There it is. This knife has become known as the Bronco. It features G10 scales. We have orange G10 with bright blue on the other side. This blue-orange combination is an answer to this knife, which came out 2 weeks prior. This is OD green and orange. So just like the one that came before it, this knife is going to be an exclusive through Cutlery Shoppe only. The knife is limited in quantity to no more than 600 pieces total production. The big defining feature to this knife, of course, is the steel itself. The steel on this knife is CPM REX45. Crucible makes this steel to be very tough and very durable. So one great feature of REX45 steel is just how much edge deflection you're not going to get on this steel versus other steels that might be a little bit more fussy in terms of being tough on the edge itself. In addition to being tough, REX45 has very good edge retention. So this is a steel that is going to be very usable. It's going to be very durable at the same time. We do have steels out there in the knife environment that are well known to be chippy, and they're well known to have problems with the edge folding over or creating chipping when used hard. So REX45 is a steel that is not susceptible to that. Independent testing of the hardness of this steel has determined that the hardness has been quite good. It's in the optimal range for its type. So the heat treatment has been spot on from Spyderco with the REX45s they've been building lately. The Para 3 is a phenomenally good everyday carry knife for several reasons. The 3-inch blade gives you quite a bit of knife and a good usable edge that makes the knife very easy to cut with, whether it's a small task that's detailed and fine or a large task that just involves a lot of chopping. You have a great blade with enough edge to really do most cutting tasks. You also have a versatile grip that's available to you. So should you want to choke up on the knife and get really fine, perhaps picking something or cutting something very delicately, the knife affords you a great grip with lots of jimping on both ends of the blade. At no point do you feel worried that your fingers are going to slip across the edge. So you have great purchase on this knife. In addition to that, you can also get back on the knife a little bit, and we do have additional jimping here on the liners. So the knife is very easy to hold with lots of options in terms of where you want your hand to go. The clip is in just the right spot so that when you're holding the knife, it hits you here on this part of your hand. So holding the knife, you don't feel the clip under your hand too much. And I know that a year ago, I never heard anything about hot spots on the clip. That was just something that wasn't even talked about. But lately, that's been something that's been coming up. This clip is in the right spot. Like most Spydercos, I can tell that Eric and Sal Glesser spent a great amount of time talking about getting the knife out of your pocket and getting it to the project and then putting it back in your pocket. And one nice feature about the Para 3 is that you do have clip positions in 4 places. And when you grab the knife, let's pretend this is in my pocket for a moment. Now, you might have guessed by now that I'm left-handed. If this knife is in my pocket's going to come up to about here. I have approximately 1 inch of space here that I can grab with my thumb to remove the knife from my pocket. That gives me really good purchase on the knife, even if I'm wearing gloves, if I'm in a shop, if my hands are cold, if I'm working outside and I need to be able to hold this knife. This knife is small, but it's still very easy to grab. It's not going to disappear in your pocket. The large Spidey hole, of course, is found on almost every Spyderco out there. And to be honest with you, it's one of the features that I like the most about their knives because it gives me it's a very simple way to pull the blade out without having a stud on the blade. So the downside to having the Spyderco hole, of course, is that you have a lot of extra material that comes up and around, making the knife somewhat taller than knives that use thumb studs. That being said, I find that the Spyderco hole allows me to very easily deploy the knife and then very easily put the knife away by squeezing the compression lock. So now we should probably move on to the compression lock. This is technically a right-handed knife, but being a left-handed purchaser of knives, I'm always mindful of what kind of experience will I have using this knife in my world. Overall, I find that the compression lock on the ParaMilitary series and on the Para 3 is very, very easy to use left-handed. I really don't ever want for a left-handed version. I do own the left-handed version of the ParaMilitary 2, and I don't particularly say that I need that lock more than the other. This knife is very easy to use in either hand. And because you can deploy the blade easily and then stow it very easily, it makes this knife a one-hand use knife. You very rarely have to use your other hand to open and close it. A big departure from the ParaMilitary 2 when you move to the Para 3 is it's a simpler assembly. We have no screw here, and then there's only one screw before you get to the lanyard tube. So very, very simple knife to assemble. Some have found that the knife can be a little bit trickier to dial in to get the blade alignment perfect. But since these knives have come out, there are multiple videos on the internet that you can watch here on YouTube that show you how to set up a ParaMilitary 3 if you have issues with it overall. So I just mistakenly called it ParaMilitary 3. There's a little bit of controversy about that. Technically, the knife name is Para 3, and when the knife issued, they declared it was not an upgrade from the old knife. It was a new thing. So slip of the tongue there. And it's pretty common on the forums and on Facebook groups to see it referred to as a PM3. So it is a little top of mind. Overall, this knife is a phenomenally well-made knife. It is a knife that's going to give you a lifetime of cutting. It's going to be a durable, reliable steel. And with the edge retention and the durability in the steel, you're going to find that this steel is going to hold up for a long time. You're not going to have to do lots of, it's not going to be very fussy in terms of maintaining the edge. Because it is a tool steel and not a stainless steel, you may find that the knife is going to develop a bit of a patina. That word has been overblown lately. I feel that the patina has become either forced, or it's become a scary thing for people who either love or hate patinas. In my opinion, simply using the knife, taking care of the knife, making sure that it stays clean and dry, wiping it down when you're done, oiling it occasionally, is really all you need to do to keep it going tip-top. If you do need to go above and beyond and you're interested in really keeping it looking like new, I would suggest that you purchase something like Flitz Polish, which is a very gentle, non-abrasive cleaner that's going to do a good job of keeping the blade looking new and removing any oxidization that might form on the blade. So things that will accelerate this, of course, are acidic environments. A great way to get a patina quickly would be to cut up a tomato, then not wipe the knife down. Cutting up pineapple. Something else I found out the hard way is taking this tool steel and cutting up a hot steak while it's on the grill. Will definitely give you a rainbow effect on your blade. If that's desirable to you, then have at it. Don't clean the blade and you're going to love what comes. If that is scary to you, I would suggest that you look again at the statistics of what this knife is capable of. And I think that when you consider overall what the edge is going to do for you and how happy you're going to be using the steel that just does not need to be sharpened often, I feel like that outweighs the scare and the risk of having the patina. So those are my thoughts on the Para 3. I'm excited to have this knife. I'm excited to tell you about it. And I'm very, very excited about the color pattern because following behind on the OD green, I love the blue. The OD green is wonderful, but to be honest with you, between the two, this is the color that I really, really like. Now, Jeff at Cutlery Shoppe has assured me that these knives will not be repeated. Of course, it is the dealer prerogative to always be able to repeat an exclusive. Once they've signed that exclusive contract, it is something that they are able to do later, should they choose to. But I take Jeff at his word, and he's a man of honor. So if he tells me there won't be any more of these, then I believe him. There won't be any more. He has, I imagine if these two are here Wouldn't it be nice to see more colors come out? Maybe you can put a comment off to Jeff. You can go to cutleryshoppe.com and you can send him a note, and you can tell him about colors that you would like to see on the next one. I think that would be fun. So if you'd like to talk more about paramilitary knives, if you'd like to talk more about the Para 3 or the Millie, if you'd like to talk more about Spyderco in general, we'd love to have you in our group. So we're known as the Millie ParaMilitary 2 Para 3 group. You'll find us on Facebook. You'll find us on Instagram. We'd love to have you, and we appreciate your time. Thank you for watching the video.